Welcome everyone to the Morristown Christmas Parade, and this is the Christmas Parade has been going on for over 50 years. And if you look down the streets here of downtown Morristown, you can see the sidewalks. The streets are just lined with people. And right now we want to get things started off with Pastor Dean Hahn. Pastor Dean Hahn is with First Baptist Church, and he's going to do our invocation.
Thank you so much, Mike, and let me just say Merry Christmas to everyone. If you're watching us at home, I pray that you'll have a blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. Would you pray with me? Father, thank you so much that you loved us and you sent your only begotten Son to die on a cross, to be raised from the grave, that we might have victory in this life. Thank you for Christmas, and that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. We thank you and praise you for all of those involved. We pray that you would keep us safe tonight, and I pray, Father, that you give everyone a wonderful Christmas. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Dean. Again, welcome to the Morristown Christmas Parade. I want to now bring in Dr. Aaliyah Helderman, if we could get Dr. Helderman in here. And just turn around here. Hi.
Hi.
So,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So we wanted, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to ask?
Oh, God.
Because I've asked you, because this, I think, is your third year of sponsoring. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And so I thought, well, should I ask Dr. Helderman of the 3 years that you have sponsored the Christmas Parade?
Yeah.
Do you have a more fond moment than any others?
I think, you ask me what my favorite part is, and every time it's when we pull over that hill down there on the float and you see the crowds and the music is going and the lights, and it's just like, it's Christmas time, which is my most favorite time of the year. And every year that is like the best part of the year to me for Christmas. That's it.
And I know you always say that, and it is true. Yeah. It is true.
Yeah.
And this year, and we'll be talking about this throughout the parade, this year we've set yet another record of entries for floats and just entries altogether. Yeah. And you can see the crowd as they're really packed in here as usual. Yes. So we're really glad that Morristown Pediatric Dentistry is again a sponsor in the third year. We hope that you'll do it forever.
Forever. I will. This is my favorite time of the year. I love it. This is literally the kickoff to Christmas for me. I love it. It's my favorite.
Well, I think it is the kickoff to Christmas, and it gets everybody in a festive mood.
Right. And now we've at the office started, like, not just us, but all of our kids come on, because we have lots of little kids. So our float is full of kids this year. And now all of our kids are like, in October, like, do we get to ride the float this year? Do we get to ride the float? So, I have to do it forever. And we're at the beginning of the parade, so then we can pull over to the side and watch the parade. So it's like a double whammy. It's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, Dr. Helderman, thank you again for being the sponsor of the parade in your third year. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So now if we can bring into the camera Bill Carlisle. Bill Carlisle is the Grand Marshal. And so, Bill, I thought I want to ask, what was your reaction when you were told that you're the Grand Marshal of the Christmas Parade?
Well, I kind of stuttered a little bit, and I said, well, I have never been a Grand Marshal, but Lisa, if you want me to, I'll be there. So here I am.
Here you are.
And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. This is a great thing right now.
Well, with your legend as a coach at Walter State, it was a no-brainer for the committee to say, we need Bill Carlisle to be our Grand Marshal.
Well, it's an honor to be here. It's been an honor to be a basketball coach at Walter State for 46 years. We've had a great run. The guy that's coaching them now is Jerry Nichols, and he was a two-time All-American for me. So I feel like I'm still part of the program up there. But it's just wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to be your Grand Marshal, and I hope I live up to the task, okay?
Well, we look forward to seeing you and waving in the parade as the Grand Marshal.
We'll do it.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
All right. Now let's bring in City Mayor Gary Chesney. And Gary always has a story of fond memories because Gary's been around for a long time. And so, Gary, this is as Dr. Helderman, this is her favorite time of year. It's just very festive. It kind of kicks off the season. Your thoughts?
Well, you always put me on the spot by saying tell a story. You don't know that I tell the same story every year. But this is just a great time. This is the perfect parade weather. It's not freezing, but it's pretty chilly, and it's not raining. So this is going to be great weather for a parade. But I think we're having a nationally syndicated writer coming here in 2 weeks to do a story on these overhead sidewalks for some national publications. And I think I'm going to remind him of when we had the Little League World Series team that almost won it in 1985, and they had the parade, and everybody lined up on these overheads, and we had a ticker tape parade. Everybody had been shredding paper, and we just dumped it out, and there was a national, the Sentinel, I think, or the Tribune One took a picture of that, and it got picked up across the nation and by AP and then UPI at the time. And I remember my aunt who lived in Chicago sent me a picture of the Chicago Sun-Times, and there we were dumping the picture over the Little League runners-up, and the headline was, "What would they have done if they'd won?"
That's what you call an old-fashioned going viral.
Yeah, that's it. So we got famous by throwing paper off the overhead sidewalks. And we won't have ticker tape tonight, but I've seen a lot of the floats, and some people have worked really hard, and I'm impressed with some of these floats that we're going to see tonight. So.
Yeah, I've heard all about the floats through the last couple of weeks, and yeah, you're right. And Gary, just living up to what I said, you lived up to a story, and that's a really cool story.
Okay, well, I'll try not to tell the same one next year.
Morristown City Mayor Gary Chesney. Thank you, Gary.
Mike. Merry Christmas.
So if we could have Chris Cutshaw, and Chris Cutshaw is here. He's the Hamlin County Commission chair. And Chris, if you could, this is your first time being on camera for the Christmas parade. And so I'll put you on the spot.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
I usually put people on the spot.
Amen.
Any fond memories of the
Absolutely.
Christmas parade?
Oh my goodness, Mike! I've grown up in this community, and the Christmas parade has meant so much to me through the years. When my folks brought me down here, probably early '70s, for the first time to see this Christmas parade, and each and every year I made it a point to bring my family to continue to do this. This is the iconic crescendo of our town. It's the character. It shows the character of our people. If you look around and all the folks that are here, the traffic that's here coming in tonight, it was so busy. It's bustling. I love Christmas time. I love this parade. I'm so glad. Outside of our event, maybe at July the 4th at Cherokee Park, this is the iconic event.
I agree, and years ago, I wanted to do the Christmas parade, and Deborah and I do such I think we blend together, and I just love doing the Christmas parade because, as Dr. Helderman said, it kind of kicks off the season, and you see all these smiling faces of all these kids.
Yes, I'm smiling too, okay? I'm telling you, I love it. It's just a great place to be. We're blessed here in East Tennessee, but more so here in Hamlin County. We are just blessed that we can have this kind of community to come out and support such an event. I'm grateful for the Chamber of Commerce and that they put this on for us each and every year, all the volunteers that it's taken to do this. So it's just a wonderful place to be, Mike.
Chris Cutshaw with the County Commission and the chair of the commission. Thank you, Chris, and Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Well, again, this is we've been doing the Christmas parade for over 50 years, and the Chamber, just to give you some talking points here that about the Christmas parade, of course, it's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, the Morristown Chamber of Commerce, and of course, as you saw and heard, listened to Dr. Helderman, she loves being the overall sponsor of the Christmas parade, but there's just so many things and so much festivities and just the festive atmosphere that it is. It's just a wonderful time of year, and I just keep saying that we kick off the Christmas season, it seems like, with the Christmas parade. There was an absence that the chamber didn't do the Christmas parade, and it was done by the Downtown Association. It was done by Crossroads. Of course, back in 2020, due to COVID, there was no parade. But outside that, Deborah, I mean, we've had over 50 years of the Christmas parade.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's been a while, but we've gotten in the groove the last 3 years. This is year number 3 for the chamber and doing the parade back again. I think 21, 22, 23.
No, you're right. And, I was telling folks on just while in between the interviews that you and I used to do it, and then we came back, and we just kind of blend.
We did.
We do. We blend.
We have fun. And we've got a lot of great stuff going to happen today with this Christmas parade. But before we get started, I noticed, you've probably noticed, all the little golf carts going down the street.
Yep.
And they're shuttling people to come and talk to us on the live commentary, and they've run errands for us, and they've helped get signs and floats. And I just want to give a shout out to my friend who's watching online, Mr. Jack Kennerly. Jack is homebound tonight, but he was the first Christmas parade coordinator that said, hey, we need to start using golf carts.
Oh, wow, good for Jack.
So good for Jack. And I just want to say, Jack, hope you're feeling better. And we thank you for the idea of letting us use golf carts.
Wow, yeah. And this year, Deborah, it's another record. I mean, I know it's a lot of hard work on you and all the volunteers, but another record set with all the entries, all the floats, all the walkers, all the this, all of that. Just another record for this year's theme, which is Christmas in the City.
Christmas in the City. And we've got a beautiful city to celebrate. It's a beautiful night. The downtown Christmas decorations are just fantastic. We're just so proud of those. And another thing that we're very proud of that's new this year, and we want to give a shout out to our friends at Morristown Utilities. They have taken the 3 front windows in the old Morristown Utilities building at 441 West Main, there at the corner of Jackson, and they have made a just beautiful display in the window. Christmas lights, Christmas in the City, animated characters, little cars with Morristown Utilities on it, children, pets, snowflakes, Christmas balls.
And Deborah, is that going to be up through the Christmas season?
It will. You can go by Morristown Utilities, the old Morristown Utilities building, anytime through January 2nd.
Oh, wow, great. Because I haven't seen it, so I'm anxious to see what it looks like.
It's delightful, and I hope that all of you will get a chance to go see that, and I hope that you all will give a big thank you to anyone from Morristown Utilities you see that had something to do with putting that together.
Well, great. So there's so many, I mean, we mentioned Deborah's worked hard, but there's so many volunteers and the committee. I mean, we thanks to Lieutenant Hinkle, Director Chris Bell, the the Hamilton County Emergency Management Agency, First Presbyterian Church. I mean, you don't want to leave anyone out.
No.
There's so many people to thank.
Every business or organization that has a piece of property along Main Street, we just want to thank them for their participation in letting us use their parking lot.
If it wasn't for the parking lots, it would be interesting.
The parade would probably be lined up all the way to the Jefferson County line, I think.
Especially this year.
Yes, especially this year.
All the parking lots, First Baptist, All Saints, First Presbyterian, Swanson and Cowan, Morristown Utilities, Mays Mortuary, Home Trust Bank. I mean, we use all the parking lots, and we really use them.
And they're full. And they're
full. Yeah. Again, there's. You don't want to leave out the people that's on the committee. I mean, certainly you, Deborah, you work hard on this for the last 3 years. This year is no exception. You've worked really hard. Natasha Morrison, Lisa Grooms, the committee chair, she's done a good job. But the committee members, you got Bill Sanders, David Slack, Tony Sellers, Lee Simkowski, Jordan Leach, myself, Manny Bedwell, Brandon Moore. I mean, these are community people that give up their time. So you got Brandon Moore, Justin Cook, Pat Mattis, Angel Sosa, Matthew Oldrich, Justin Cook, Steve Nielsen, Hope Ross, Deborah Aarons, Teresa Harrison, Jody Barnard, Ann Ross, Pat Seaver Sanders, Pete Burrell, he's the stop sign guy, and numerous other volunteers.
That's right. We've had a much larger committee than we've had in the past, but we're thankful for that. And believe it or not, if you are out there and would like to volunteer to help with the parade, we can use even more volunteers.
Yeah, because it takes a big effort.
It takes more than a village. It takes a city, doesn't it? It takes a whole city. And
one of the things, Deborah, that each of the interviewees were saying that I mean this parade is kind of like Chris was saying, it's memorable. He remembers things that growing up and this, and of course getting Gary Chesney in here, he's always got a story.
Absolutely. His favorite Christmas parade story, does he have? Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Helderman loves being, and I put her on the spot too. I said, now, Dr. Helderman, you are going to be the sponsor forever, right? So just keep that.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind.
No, she just loves being the sponsor just because look at her business. It's a Morristown Pediatric Dentistry, and it's all about the kids.
It's all about the kids.
So that's kind of why she does it. So,
and since you mentioned the city, and I know we've talked about Lieutenant Hinkle and what a great job all the Morristown Police Department staff does, the Morristown Fire Department, and our Public Works Department and Director Paul Brown, they do such a great job. The street sweeper, say that carefully, the street sweeper was down, the leaf truck was down Main Street. They made the parade area just clean and nice and wonderful for us. And they will do the same thing after Santa Claus goes through the parade. Then you'll see street sweepers right behind, and they will make sure that our street looks beautiful tomorrow morning when you get up and come to work.
And I've talked to people for the last couple of weeks that's talked about their parade, and I've talked to different people in different cities talk about their parade, and I'm sure they're wonderful. I think any Christmas parade is wonderful, but I'm kind of fond of ours just because one, you can look up and down the street, and as usual, I'm going to tell you, there's thousands of people on the street, but if you look at the overhead sidewalks, which no other town has, they're packed up here on the overhead sidewalks as well.
I think, Mike, there's almost as many people on the second level as there is down on the ground level.
Yeah, and again, we can put a claim that we're the only one that has that.
Absolutely.
And so, Deborah, again, we've set a record for the amount of...
I think we have about 200 units in the parade this year, and based on our committee calculations, about 2,500 individuals between those riding on floats and marching in bands and... and driving cars and just marching groups like Jana and the Boy Scouts and some of our favorite marching units. I think we have a...
and for the last couple of years, and it stands true this year, we've got 3 marching bands. We've got Morristown West, Morristown East, Lakeway Christian Academy, and they're spread out through the parade. And you and the committee have done an excellent job in spreading the floats out, and it's just an incredible job just to be able to put something like this on.
I think that you might have mentioned earlier, while Mike was doing these great interviews with our our wonderful mayors and chairman of the commission. And I was enjoying my raspberry lemonade that I got with extra ice, which I know it's a little bit chilly, but I'm an extra ice person, that I got from Donut Envy. If you haven't tried the Donut Envy food truck, they're at the chamber right now along with Crave, and we've set up a food truck there to provide snacks for our volunteers when they were able to take a break, and for anybody that was in the parade. You know, in the lineup area, we ask our parade participants to be there at 5:30, and the parade doesn't step off until 7. So once they get there and get their float in place and they're in really good shape, then, you know, they might want a little something to eat. And I can highly recommend Crave Food Truck and Donut Envy, and get the raspberry lemonade and tell them Deborah sent you.
Well, you know, it's to have this many people show up, the amount of volunteers on the committee for the parade, and the parade's been going on for over 50 years. To me, that says a lot about Morristown.
You know, it does, and I think I might have to update that, because I've been doing the parade for 40 years, and I know it was going on a lot longer than it was before me, so.
40 years?
40 years, boy, I tell you, it's a long time.
You know, you look up the hill, because Dr. Helderman was talking about, she loves it when she tops the hill at the start of the parade and sees all the people lined up on the sidewalks on each side of the street. You know, and and then we have the advantage point being up here on the overhead sidewalks to look up the hill and see when it actually gets started, and that's a thrill.
I know. It's a great parade route because it has the hills and it seems like just at the perfect place. You crest a hill and you see the decorations and the lights and the crowd. And it's just
well, I think this is, you know, I've been a part of it, and I've lived here since 1978, and I just think with the Morristown Police Department, everybody that gets involved to block off the streets, clear Main Street, and I just think this, if it's not the perfect route, it's really close.
It's really close. It is close. We have a great, as we talked before about the team that works together to make sure the streets are blocked, but they do it in a really considerate way. In other words, we start blocking the lineup area where the floats are being assembled a little earlier, but the police department, those working on the lineup and blocking the streets, they're very conscious of the fact that our Main Street merchants are open until 5 or 5:30. So
they don't really start closing the street till about 5:30.
Here, right in
this area,
in the downtown area where the overhead sidewalks between Mill Street and Cumberland, they're very, very conscious of the fact that our local economy is driven by our customers and the customers of these wonderful businesses that are downtown.
And I think downtown, as far as business-wise, has grown in the last couple. I just know there's some new businesses down
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely.
And that's again, that's another testament to the city of Morristown, but it's also a testament to the chamber and to the city and county administration. The growth of Hamlin County is, if it's not tops in the state, it's got to be in the top 5.
You would think, yes, I think so. And I think our city has done an excellent job in our county of what we call planned growth. I know that you hear and you see there are a lot of people that do miss the olden days. And I'm usually one of them that says, when I was a child. But we like the small town feel, but we also enjoy a lot of the new things that we're having, the new stores,
Absolutely.
the new restaurants, the new businesses. And I think when you have city and county planning departments and professional people in those positions that understand how to allow your city or county to grow, but not sprawl. Just grow.
Well, you know, and I know you say this, you live this, that small business is the backbone of the community.
It really is.
But it's wonderful to have the department stores, the big box stores. That way you can get it all right here in Hamilton County.
And as you know, Christmas is coming, because that's why we're here having a parade. And when you think about your Christmas shopping, we encourage you to shop local. Go to those local businesses.
And and right here on Main Street, there's a lot of specialty stores.
There are.
And I wouldn't even begin to name them because you'd leave somebody out. But there's a lot of specialty stores that you can't find anywhere else.
That's right.
And again, I've always believed, and I know you have again, that's just the backbone of the community. When you have that small business and they have specialty merchandise that you can't go anywhere else.
Absolutely. And we know that when we buy something at a local business, then the owner of that business takes our money home with them, and they go to the local restaurant and the local grocery store and buy their products locally, and the money just turns over in our town. So that's a really positive thing.
Talking about the city and the growth and this and that, the theme of this year's Christmas parade is Christmas in the City.
Christmas
and
in the City.
The committee picked that out just for because it is the city of Morristown. It is the Christmas parade. Has been going on for so long. Now I'm going to chase a squirrel. The interview with Coach Carlisle, the Grand Marshal, was just. I mean, he's a gentle giant.
He is. And, I was talking to his daughter, Lisa, who is grown and has children that are in high school and college. And I remember I was working at Walter State in 1978, which was the year after Bill had been here. He was a coach, started coaching there in 77. And Lisa said, I was in the first grade. And I remember Lisa and her sister Amy, and they were little tiny girls, and they were coming to Walter State, and time does fly.
Yeah, 46 years later, and I think he said he had a two-time champion or two-time player that he's left in good hands as the new coach.
The new coach.
It's just the stories like that from legends, and I did call him a legend because he is a legend.
And I'll actually put in a plug. My husband and I have started going to Walter State basketball games last year, usually on Wednesday nights or Saturday, and I tell you, it's exciting basketball to watch. The last game that we went to, Walter State scored 125 points. It was exciting, and their new coach and their players they're just great. And it's fun, and it's free, and the concessions are good, and we like to go to Walter State to basketball, so I encourage you.
I'm not going to the games, but I do see the headlines in the Citizen Tribune, and that I saw that 125-point performance, and I'm thinking, wow, Coach Carlisle can feel good about
it. Was fun. It was fun.
Oh, wow. Fun. So, again, we welcome you to the live stream broadcast here on citizentribune.com. We welcome you. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoy the parade tonight. Again, the streets are lined on both sides, up and down. There's thousands of people on the main level of the street, and then thousands of people up on the overhead sidewalks. And I'm hearing sirens.
I hear a siren.
And you know when you hear sirens, that's the beginning of the parade, and you and I kind of go silent because we can't hear each other.
That's right. And I will tell you that the Morristown Police Department, Captain Brian Sulfridge will be leading the parade, and then the Hamilton County Sheriff, Chad Mullins, will be in the first vehicle, and David Cribley will be in the second vehicle, and then Tennessee Highway Patrol Trooper Jordan Caldwell. And I'm going to say that now because it's going to get loud, and you're not going to be able to hear me.
So now that was the county, the city, and the state, and now we're going to come in with the fire departments.
And this is Morristown Fire Department, and I believe this is their newest fire truck. And we thank Chief Clark Taylor and everyone on his team for all they do.
I think we have some incredible fire departments.
I do too.
City and volunteer all together. Well, we've definitely started Christmas in the City Christmas Parade.
We sure have, Mike, and we're, I think from looking up the hill from our vantage point, it looks like our volunteer fire departments are coming next.
You know, the sirens are really loud, but I think the kids get a kick out of it. I know they're loud.
I do too. I know.
Now, the one that's coming in view here in just a second is I think it's the South Hamlin County Volunteer Fire Department, and aren't they the ones that have the trailer?
I think, let me see here.
Or maybe that's the West.
It's the West.
'Cause that's Sparky the fire dog.
Fire dog, absolutely. And that fire safety house is a great training.
And just so you know, it's not on fire, okay?
That's absolutely right. This is East Hamlin County, I believe.
Well, the gingerbread man is getting jiggy with it, I think. Yeah, in view is East Hamlin County Volunteer Fire Department.
East Hamlin County. And North Hamlin County Fire Department going through. You know, Mike, I've never gotten to look down into a fire truck and see all those hoses and everything. Looks pretty exciting from up here.
Yeah.
And now we have South Hamlin County.
And I think it's a big inflatable minion.
It is cute, an inflatable minion with a fire hat. That's great.
Deborah, as I was saying, you know, I think the volunteer fire departments, I mean, I think here's a Grinch. Is that not
I
a
started
Grinch?
to say a Grinch, and it, Are we counting? Last year we counted, and we had about 17 Grinches. Yeah, we'll start counting Grinches. I think we have the EMS and the coming next, and the rescue squad.
You know, and the rescue squad, they do a great job as well.
They certainly do.
They're always on call. They're there when something happens. They just do such a great job.
And you know, for those who aren't real familiar with the United Way, the Morristown Rescue Squad is a volunteer organization funded by the United Way. And we thank the United Way and everyone involved and everyone that contributes. If you contribute to the United Way, you are supporting the rescue squad. And
Absolutely.
Okay, here comes the ELF squad from Morristown Utilities. I saw a great guy on one of those little scooters that I'd love to know how to ride.
Oh, so he has
an ELF squad. Yeah. I believe the ELF squad is who put together that beautiful window display I was talking about earlier.
Oh, wow. And look at it's going to come in view, and look at these flashing lights for Morristown Utilities and FiberNet. Wow.
What a beautiful display.
You know, Morristown Utilities has been serving Morristown since 1901, and they just installed electric car charging units. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, there's a...
Of course, you know, I have to say, you would expect a lot of pretty lights from Morristown Utilities.
You would think, yes.
And their float is beautiful.
Wow, they've done a great job.
They've done a great job. It's just beautiful.
Can you back up for the camera?
And I am jealous of this guy riding on this little scooter.
You know, I'd break my neck. So.
Well, I probably would too. That's why I'm jealous, because he knows how to do it and is so much more coordinated. And I believe this is their electric vehicle coming.
Oh, that would make sense, Deborah. Yeah.
I believe it is. I walk my dogs every morning, and I walk by Morristown Utilities, and I see this little car at the charging station, and that's how I knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
I recognized it.
That does make sense.
There's that lady down there. She's got to take a few pictures, and then she said she can come up here.
Now,
Thank you.
coming next, coming into view, you might see a familiar face if you've been watching this parade for a long time. This is Albert, who used to lead the parade.
Yes, he did.
Albert is a resident at Life Care Center of Morristown, and he is riding in his wheelchair with his flag, and the ladies from Life Care are pushing him.
Albert was a staple.
Albert has been in the parade for years, and we just thank the people at Life Care Center so much for bringing him out and letting him participate, and we're glad the weather was nice enough for Albert to be able to not have to ride in the bus this year.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Awesome. Now this is, if everything goes according to script, this should be the Morristown Hamlin Library. And they always do a beautiful job. Look at that tree and the beautiful windows.
You know, I kept hearing, I think you told me, but I kept hearing from other people that the floats this year were incredible.
Oh, they are. They're just wonderful.
And that one right there from the library was a good example.
They always do good work. They always do. Now, I believe this is Captain Clyde Short, and he is leading the body of the parade that has all of the floats and bands and and we thank the ROTC from East and West High School.
The ROTC, yeah.
Yes, and they are carrying our banner for us, and of course they're also our color guard.
You know, and I really like the ROTC, whatever high school, but East and West has a really good ROTC program.
They do, it's wonderful.
And this is Dr. Helderman.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Here comes our sponsor float.
Wow. Well, Leah was talking about all the work and all the kids that go into and on the float, and I got to agree with her. It's an incredible looking float.
It is beautiful.
And there's Dr. Leah Helderman
with her staff. And here comes the dance team and West High School band under the direction of Jared Box. Sound great, Mike.
That was great, yeah. And that was the first dance team Morristown West has had in over 20 years.
They're coming.
They're coming,
They're
okay.
coming. And we want to acknowledge Courtney Noah Stepp. She's their director. And the girls on the dance team are Leslie Alika, Delaney Mixa, Olivia Epps, Maggie June Stepp, Hallie Anglin, and Caroline Brady.
And you got to have a city long trailer to carry all the equipment.
They do. And here comes our Grand Marshal.
So again, it was such a pleasure to talk to Coach Carlisle, and as I told you, he's just such a gentle giant. And the honorary Grand Marshal, Coach Bill Carlisle, for 46 years, coaching Walter State, and of course that is sponsored by the Citizen Tribune, and the car is driven by Tim Goins.
Yes. And I was speaking with Tim before. He was putting on all of the Grand Marshal signs and showing us who was coming, and we're glad to have Bill, Coach Bill, and his wonderful wife Marcia riding in the car.
I think he likes it.
I do too.
Yeah. Deserving Grand Marshal.
And following behind him is the Walter State Community College float.
Very fitting.
It is, and I believe that's some basketball players on that float.
Well, they're tall enough, so you.
It sure is. And you know, I see basketball players. I don't see Dr. Tony Mixa with his trophy for being the #1 community college in Tennessee for the second year in a row.
Second year in a row, that is correct.
Now we have our city council coming into view. And they've got a wall. I see Mayor Chesney. I see Councilmember Center. I believe I see Councilmember Ahern, Councilmember Pettigo, and somebody's over there maybe that I can't see. And then here we have our county commissioners. And I know that Rodney Long is driving, and I see Chris Cutshaw and Bobby Hahn. And who else do I see down there? Debbie Ahern.
You know,
so
that's
I guess Al's on the first float, the city float, and Debbie's on the county float. And this is Senator Steve Sutherland coming along now.
Steve's been around, and he goes back and forth from here to Nashville a lot.
And Steve's also in a lot of parades.
Yes, he is.
And we were having a great visit about that the other day. And this float is representing Blue Ridge Title and Carol Anderson and Faust, attorneys. They have a beautiful float. And we know Evan Anderson and Lauren Carroll and you know, Marshall's brother moved up here from Florida, so Jordan Ramsey's somewhere on that float helping out.
Another great job on a float.
A beautiful float, one of our Klein floats. And this is the Health Star Physicians float. And I saw Jordan putting some doctors' names on there. You can see the names of some of the doctors that are riding. Beautiful, beautiful float.
Our CEO, Mickey Brabson, and the families grace the parade with their dazzling display.
There's Mickey. I see Mickey. I'm glad she's here. And you know, I told the guys from the float company, this one is my favorite. This is a little train, and it is carrying the staff at College Park and Howard's Pharmacy. They've been proud members of the Morristown community for many years, and their roots trace back to 1867.
But I'm noticing there's 3 Batmen, right?
That's what it looks like.
Am I seeing things?
And they are under the ownership today of Chad Huntsman and Jacob Cox. And here comes, Heskett Family Chiropractic. You know Michael Heskett is rocking it.
You know, every year. He's rocking it every year.
You know, Dr. Heskett was in the parade for many years, and then he didn't sponsor a float for a while, and we're so glad he's back. He's one of my favorites.
Well, right there, he and Margie are, so. These floats, I'm telling you,
man,
these floats are amazing.
Porter's Tire Store is just, what a beautiful float they have.
Wow, they got some really cool lights around and then up on the float.
Oh, yes. You know, I was looking at these floats when they were in the parking lot, but they weren't all lit up, and they just look gorgeous now. Look at all the little angels and the shepherds. And Mary and the baby Jesus. I see a wise man down there. I believe we're celebrating the true meaning of Christmas.
I think we are. And knowing the Porters, we would be.
We would be. I know it. Now this is a beautiful float. Now our professional floats have already gone by. These are floats that were created locally. And we are so pleased to see Acme Printing has been part of the Morristown community since 1967.
Yeah, and I heard earlier that they had done a really good job on their float. And
I had too.
I think they have.
And I think they have lived up to their reputation. That is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
That is absolutely beautiful.
So coming into view now, this is Advanced Foam Solutions.
Yep. Okay. Now we got Shriners coming.
Well, you all know, we always know the Shriners, okay?
We do.
And we always know what the Shriners represent and what they do.
But look at those cute little cars.
Oh yeah.
And they're so lit up.
They're always a crowd favorite.
They are. You know, I like these little ATVs, but you remember when they used to have the little sporty-looking cars that zipped around?
That zipped around.
Yeah.
And of course, again, just to re-emphasize that this is Christmas in the city. We're kicking off the festivities of Christmas with the Morristown Christmas Parade.
We are. I believe it looks like we have the All Saints Episcopal School float coming up.
And again, they've done a great job.
They have. They're located on Maple Valley Road, and they were established in 1967. Is this about the second or third thing that come through the parade that started in 1967?
I think it
believe.
is.
And that must have been a good year for Morristown for all the growth. And look at their dance team, their cheerleaders. They look like they're having a great time. And their little eagle mascot. And I believe our next two units are Alpha Baptist Church and Alpha Baptist Daycare.
We being the Citizen Tribune, recently did an anniversary section for the daycare, and they do a really good job with the kids there at Alpha Daycare.
Well, they certainly have a beautiful float. Very, very nice. Alpha Baptist Church, very, very nice.
Now, coming up next is the TVA, the Knoxville TVA Credit Union, and I wonder, because that's their Jeep.
Yes.
And Beth always drives that Jeep. I don't know if Beth is driving the Jeep tonight, but
I think she is.
I believe she is.
And then here is their float that goes with the Jeep. It just looks great. I love the snowman and the Christmas tree.
Very fitting.
Very fitting. Look at their cool hats, Mike, that all have the Knoxville TVA Credit Union logo.
Wow, yeah.
And this is Caris Healthcare. They have a fun float with a lot of fun people along with them. They are being committed to being your world-class hospice care provider.
You know, and all the work that goes into these floats, hats off to them.
I know.
There's Mario, a dinosaur.
And here comes one of my favorite, my former neighbor, Lowland Credit Union. They've relocated now, but I love Mark Creech and all his staff at Lowland Credit Union.
You know, they began operation in 1953.
Wow. And they currently have 3 branches, 2 in Morristown and 1 in Newport. And their employees and family members are on that float. Look at all those colorful balloons. Here comes Cash Express.
I wonder if that's Frosty.
He looks a little frosty, but there's Baby Yoda and Scooby-Doo and cute little penguins.
You know, interesting, because you know early on in the parade we said, well, there's the first Grinch, but I haven't seen any since.
I know. Maybe we're not going to be Grinchy this Christmas.
Again, we want to welcome you in. Thank you for watching the live stream of the Christmas parade. It's Christmas in the city. Again, the the parade here in Morristown has been going on for well over 50 years. We're happy that you're a part of it. And again, I think since we first started, Deborah, the crowd has swollen even more.
I do too. I think maybe there were a few people that got here just a tad late, but they're enjoying a great parade.
And if you look at down on the street level, I think they're like 8 to 10 deep.
It looks like it, Mike. It really does. Just a little bit of break in the action here, but I see on the horizon a float coming our way.
You know, Deborah, since we do have a break, the flow of the parade is just as important, almost as anything.
Right.
And the people the volunteers, all the people behind the scenes that keep the flow going, I mean, they're doing a great job.
They are. And I believe this is Colgate-Palmolive.
You know, it's hard to believe that that Colgate-Palmolive has been in Morristown for 16 years.
Wow.
I didn't get that. I didn't understand.
I know it. Their float's lovely. And for people who didn't know, all of the Total toothpaste in North America is made in Morristown.
Oh, wow. We're happy to have them.
Here comes the Lakeway Christian Academy Marching Band, and I saw Dr. Klein the other day, and he reminded me that they are an award-winning band. They have a state championship band. They won the Division I state champion this year. And I was looking at my script to see that, but they have a nice banner that tells me
they really
that.
do. Well, Deborah, if he wasn't in the mood before,
you're in a Christmas spirit now. And here comes Lakeway's float. I believe that Dr. Klein told me the 8th grade football team is riding on the float, and then they have others walking.
wow, they've got Cornerstone
and
cheerleaders.
This is my very favorite. If you'll look to the left, to our left, you'll see the Lakeway Lion coming up here. I believe it's really the Lakeway Golden Retriever, but Dr. Klein's wife has made the greatest lion mane for their dog. So I saw them 2 years ago, and he's my favorite.
Wow.
And here comes Walmart. And now we have the Lakeway Car Club.
Well, I mean, you could say so much about these beautiful cars.
I know it.
And they are beautiful cars.
And beautiful little angels riding in those cars.
You know that any car club, but the Hamlin County Car Club, they take a lot of pride.
They do.
In not just their cars, but going to car shows, showing off their cars, showing off their trophies, trying to win the trophies, and they just have a lot of fun.
Oh, they do, and they have wonderful vehicles, and they do some really great things in service. You know, they have car shows that are fundraisers for great causes, and they just do a wonderful service to our community, and we appreciate them bringing out their beautiful cars to highlight our parade.
I'm looking at each one of these cars and I'm thinking, okay, that's a Pontiac, that's a Camaro,
They're beautiful cars.
and I think the red car is Dick and Evie Valentine.
Well, I know they're part of it.
They are, yep, they are.
And I just want to give a shout out to Edie Valentine. She coordinates this, and she comes to the chamber and she gets the application, and then she goes and gets everybody's insurance and everybody's driver's license and everybody's name and brings it to me in a package so that it's just, I mean, she makes it so easy for this group to be part of the parade.
Wow. And we're happy they are part of it.
We sure are.
That's a 57 Chevy. That's a Trans Am.
Beautiful, beautiful cars.
I'm sorry. I'm drooling
I'm
here.
glad you're a
Deborah.
car geek, Mike, and you can help us with some of these. Oh, there's a Grinch.
There's a Grinch.
That's two.
That's two.
And they've done a really nice job, Mike, of decorating. I know that I'm learning that people who have vintage cars like this, they need to be pretty careful about what they tape on them and fasten to them. But these car club members have done a great job with the decorating so that
Wow.
we get to get the Christmas spirit.
You know, Deborah, we've done parades when it's rained, it snowed, it's been bitterly cold.
Now, I will tell you, I have not done a parade in the rain.
Really?
I have not. I was talking to Tony Sellers, one of our volunteers, and he was talking about doing a parade in the rain. And I think it was during the years when the downtown organization or Crossroads did the parade.
I think it was, yeah.
And so I am counting that as being a good luck charm.
I think it's a blessing.
Since I have not, since I've been doing the parade, it doesn't rain. So I like to say that. But it has been bitterly cold. And then I remembered just a couple of years ago, we were out here really in our shirt sleeves almost.
Oh, no, it was warm.
Warm days. Boy, this is a pretty
Wow.
vehicle.
You know, that's an old truck. I have no clue what year, and they've really put a paint job on it.
And an old car on an old truck.
Now, Deborah, do we remember how many entries there are for the car club?
I believe 30.
Okay.
I believe there are 30. That was.
Well, they do come together and do such a good job, and like you say, Evie is a big part of that.
And she coordinates. She does a great job. Now, I'm partial to this truck that's coming here. What can you tell me about this pretty blue truck?
Oh, see, you put me on the spot. Other than
it's old.
It's old, and I'd like to have it.
It is really nice. Oh, it's got a teddy bear in the back. Now, I believe this is Morristown Auto Sales coming here. They have 4 vehicles in the parade.
You know, Al does such a good job at Morristown Auto Sales. Sells a lot of vehicles.
He does, and that looks pretty good. In case my husband wanted a new truck, or a used truck, but he's got some pretty good looking ones, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He always has some really nice looking trucks.
I believe that this pretty little white vehicle with a pretty little white tree might be Seven Titles' car, but I'm not gonna trust my memory at this. I have just been informed by somebody with better eyesight than mine.
Younger eyesight than either one of us.
That this is Seven Title, and look how pretty that car looks with the lights all
Yeah,
across.
they put net lights.
Net lights. That's a good
wow,
idea.
That's a great idea. Duly noted.
Duly noted. And this is Judge Alex Pearson coming here with his pretty Christmas tree and snowman and getting us in the celebration of Christmas.
And of course, Alex Pearson is a circuit court judge for the 3rd Judicial District, which serves Hamlin, Hancock, Hawkins, and Greene counties.
These next 3 vehicles are from the American Legion, and Mr. James Nicely is always the one that coordinates that for them, and I always love visiting with Mr. Nicely when he comes in. I can always tell his grandson is a football coach, NCAA football coach, and I can always tell where he's coaching by the hat that Mr. Nicely. Right now, I think he's wearing a Houston hat.
Oh, really?
He's worn a West Virginia hat, and he's come in with his Alabama hat, but sometimes we let him come in with that hat, and sometimes we don't.
Well, all right. That's good information to know.
One of he did come in one day and wanted to take a magazine, a Morristown magazine. There was an article about Sammy Nicely, and he said, "You're not going to give it to me because I'm sending it to Nick Saban." I let him have it anyway.
Oh, good story.
Here comes Bojangles.
Bojangles.
We love Bojangles of Western North Carolina. I'm a big Bojangles fan. A Bo-berry biscuit and a sweet tea.
You know, I know that about you and Frank.
I know. My husband and I were so happy when Bojangles came to Morristown because we used to go to Newport every Saturday and get our Bojangles.
I know that about Frank, yes.
Maybe we.
Wow.
Here comes Gutters and More, and you know they're rocking.
You know Johnny and Gutters and Moore's rocking.
Absolutely. Are they throwing? Now we are at Landmark Church of God. And they have a couple of units. They have they have the walking unit and then their van. And then I believe our next unit coming up is number 33, Men of Vision. And they are a nonprofit 501c3 organization of men that come together to meet the needs of the community socially, civically, and economically. And we're glad to see them.
The Men of Vision is an incredible organization.
They really are.
They meet a lot of needs.
They had a great banquet this year, I think, that was very well received.
Yes.
And next is Morristown Ford. They have 2 vehicles here in the parade.
That truck, I think, probably is an electric truck. and Morristown Ford is under new ownership.
That's good to know. Here comes Once Upon a Time costume rentals. Now, that is just about any costume you would want. Here comes another Grinch. We're at 3.
Wow.
But look at, aren't
Oh,
they
my.
wonderful? Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Oh, wow. Now, that's a treat for the kids, but I'm enjoying it too.
I know it. I know it. That's great. I believe ORNL is next, and there's Grinch number 4.
Oh, number 4.
Okay, I believe that our next, the 2 little units and the beautiful truck is from Quality Plumbing. You see there's a heat HVAC unit.
And he's peeping up out of the...
And there's a, well, we know what that is.
Right.
Their plumbing and their HVAC division. And then this is their beautiful antique truck.
Wow, that's a beautiful tree in the bed of that antique truck.
Isn't that beautiful? They have done a great job.
They've been around East Tennessee since 1985.
That's a beautiful little truck. And this is also Quality Plumbing. This is their float. I believe that's the most beautifully decorated outhouse I've ever seen.
And it's got the little unit on the back of it for AC.
Yep, and they've got a fire, and I met the Labrador Retriever earlier. Here comes R&B Masonry.
I think the lights are spelling Merry Christmas.
I think they are.
I think it is. Merry Christmas.
And our next 2 units are Morristown's hometown radio station, 105.7 WCRK FM, and they're celebrating over 75 years.
Number 5, right? Number 5 Grinch.
Number 5 Grinch.
Yep.
And Country Legends 99.3 FM. They do not have a Grinch. What's he doing? And then Motorsport Auto Sales are our next 2 vehicles.
They are a family-owned business that focuses on the customer's needs and expectations. Wow, that's some blinding lights.
Whoa, it sure is.
On that Jeep. Wow. Well, you're not seeing them in yet, but here's the coming up in the camera view is the Boy Scouts that's taken up, looks like 4 city blocks.
It sure does. Here come the Boy Scouts. You know, Mike, scouting is about outdoor adventure, camping, hiking, shooting, canoeing, rock climbing, fishing, and countless other activities, but it's more than that.
For over 100 years.
The Boy Scouts have developed character and built confidence and instilled a sense of service in our next generation.
And that puts a smile on my face to see young men developing what the Boy Scouts develop in them.
Right, and look at how many family members they have with them. It's great to see that their family members are dedicated enough to come out and participate in the parade.
Wow. Again, we just want to thank you for tuning in. It's Christmas in the city, and it's the Morristown City Christmas Parade. A lot of entries. I think, I don't know if we're even halfway through.
We're about a third of the way through, I think. Yeah.
Again, hats off to the people that put them in parking lots and get them out of the parking lots and get the flow the way they get the flow.
I know it. I know it.
He just texted and said the live stream has stopped.
Okay, Mike, here comes dynamic therapy. They were previously referred to as dynamic physical therapy, and they're a diverse group of professionals. And
They do speech therapy. You don't always think about speech therapy. You think
don't.
muscles and bones and this and that, but they do speech therapy as well.
That's great. They're amazing team members. And okay, here comes Family Fun Zone.
Well, I think they're having fun.
Bumper cars, ice skating, bowling, laser tag, axe throwing. They've got all kinds of fun stuff going on at Family Fun Zone. This is Fortner Excavating and Landscaping. Look at what a beautiful little bobcat.
That's a bobcat, yeah.
It's pretty colorful.
And they're sitting in the bucket of the bobcat.
Of the bucket. That's great.
This looks like it's Found Ever.
Found Ever. They used to be
Sykes. Yep.
and Intuit, and now they're
Found Ever. Yep. They're a great corporate partner here in town.
They really are. They really, really are. And here come the Girl Scouts. Look, is that a big box of cookies on the front of that float? I would notice that.
I wonder if it's full of cookies.
I would notice that.
There'd be a lot of cookies.
It sure is. And I believe this just might be Greenworks.
What gave it away would be the green riding lawnmowers.
It sure would.
And Grinch number 6.
Grinch number 6.
Deborah, over to our left here beside us, these kids are really getting into.
They really, really are. Here come the Hamlin Anglers. That's the fishing team made up of students from East and West high schools. The Anglers fish 4 tournaments in the Bass Pro High School Trail, have 10 teams, and are currently 1 team in the top 10 standings. So,
and I guess that's Santa riding a bass fish, right?
It sure is.
A smallmouth.
In a nice boat.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And this is the Hamlin County Democratic Party. They wish everyone a Merry Christmas and wish for peace and happiness throughout Tennessee, the United States, Ukraine, the Middle East, and the entire world.
This is Holtz Baptist Church. Pastor Alan Lamb. They have services Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday.
Here comes the Liberty Tax. They are serving Morristown and Jefferson City.
Well, while we have a break here, Deborah, again, we just want to thank everyone for being here and tuning in for Christmas in the city. It's just a very festive atmosphere, and all the people lined up. I mean, again, I was saying that all the people that have come since the parade started down on the street level, but
Right.
look down the street at the overhead sidewalks.
Right.
I mean, it's incredible.
It is. It's a beautiful. The group that's coming into view next are the Paparazzi Accessories, and a local group of independent consultants who sell $5 jewelry to accessorize or less. Their team name is Team Fabulous.
That's my kind of jewelry.
Yeah, now how does Glenda feel about that?
Well, you know, she would. I'll probably hear about it.
Probably will. Probably will. And their favorite phrase, Mike, is, "We know that $5 jewelry may not change the world, but those who wear it will."
That's
a
pretty cool
That's
phrase.
a pretty
yeah.
good expression. And we thank them for participating in the parade this year.
I think there's, I don't want to say several, but there's a lot of new entries this year, and some
There
of the
are.
favorites.
There are, but we have some of our regulars, and then we have this is Parker's Purpose Foundation, and they were established this year by Matthew and Paige Cross in remembrance of their 5-year-old daughter, Parker, who passed away unexpectedly after her courageous battle with neuroblastoma, which is a type of pediatric cancer. Parker's story of faith and resilience can be found on Facebook, and they strive to serve whatever purpose needs to be met for those children.
And then here is Trail Life Troop Tennessee 8657. It's a ministry of First Baptist Church here in town.
Yes, and there I see Pastor Tim Thompson that I recognize down there. And it looks like the Summit ATA Martial Arts are getting ready to.
Yeah, Melinda's getting them in order, and now they're going to perform.
Perform a little bit for us.
You know, Deborah, I think it's awesome because Melinda does a good job, but this teaches kids and adults discipline.
Yes.
And I just think it's awesome.
She has a really good group there, doesn't she?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like it grows every year.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
you're right, Mike.
Can you get that lady out of the way?
Put it this way, I wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley.
You got that right. And I think coming up behind them, I believe, is Trilight. They are a fiber internet TV and phone company partnered with the Appalachian Electric Cooperative. And if AEC serves as your utility provider, you can have access to this fiber service.
I think the Christmas tree's cute.
I love the Christmas tree.
These are children's favorites. I mean,
They are. I believe we have Uptown Hound coming next. I see all these little doggies.
so I guess that's why the big inflatable dog's in the bed of the truck, because it be an Uptown Hound, and they groom. Oh, look at the little.
They got all kinds of little bitty ones.
The little doggies.
Aren't they cute?
And the bigger doggies.
And the bigger doggies.
You're not a dog people.
I'm
okay?
a dog people.
Oh, yeah.
And here we have Walmart Market.
Yep, and I think that's number 7, Grinch.
I think it is. And it looks like Kidwell's Ridge Baptist Church.
Well, I'm not sure.
Not yet, not yet. Kidwell's Ridge Baptist Church is coming next.
Okay. Kidwell's Ridge Baptist Church has a long history in Hamlin County. It was formed in 1948.
Well, here comes the first place float.
You know, McKenna always does. McKenna Orthodontics always does it. Yeah,
they do a beautiful job. They always do. There's Dr. Mark. I see him in the front.
I guess that's a Christmas squirrel or chipmunk.
I think those are little antlers. I think it's a deer.
Well, you know, chipmunk, deer, you know.
I was going to say, I think it's a reindeer. Looks like Morristown Baptist Tabernacle is on the way.
Pastor Doug Benton and the entire family at Morristown Baptist Tabernacle wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And Deborah, another truck that's got net lights on it. Again, I just think that's a cool idea.
Great. I believe I see Morristown East, FFA.
You know, they positively promote agriculture. They teach students leadership, responsibility, and the importance of agriculture.
They do. They do a great job. The FFAs are great at all of our schools. Well, that's a big, and I believe behind them are the Morristown Gladiators. That's a youth tackle football program. It includes cheerleading, and they have completed their 9th season as an independent football organization. So I guess that was the walking part of their unit. Here
well,
comes.
I figured this was the Gladiators
with the
float.
big football.
You know, the goalpost.
Goalpost,
I mean,
and look at the lights.
the lights, that's really cool.
They've done a great job with that float. They've done a great job.
Creativity with these floats are amazing.
I know. They've done a great job with their creativity. And I believe we have Morrison Real Estate. They have an office not too far from the chamber on Main Street, and they've been working on that float since about noon. They were putting that on. They had it.
So
put
you
together.
saw it happening.
I saw it happening. And behind them is our second place float,
All right.
Morristown Signs.
Well, Jeremy did a really good job, and crew
Yeah.
did a really good job on the Morristown Signs float.
Oh, he did. They've got the it's a Polar Express.
Oh, wow. Well, they really did. Oh, wow. I heard about the train. I didn't know it was going to be this awesome.
Yeah, it is
Wow.
really awesome. That is really
Wow.
awesome.
And look at the smoke.
That's pretty cool.
This is the Motown Diamonds fast pitch. Motown Diamonds is a softball and baseball organization.
And they've got a nice blow-up snowman playing baseball. That's pretty cool.
I think a lot of these floats are big hits because you can look down the street here and people are just really enjoying the floats.
They really are. They really, really are. I don't remember that I've ever seen this much crowd interaction with the parade.
Well, I mean, again, I think that says volumes about the floats. I mean, we've
do
had
too.
floats, great floats down through the years, but we've had some remarkable floats and a lot of work going into these type floats.
Absolutely. Now, Sunset Towing is pulling the float for the New Vision Christian School. And they are located in the heart of White Pine, and a fundamentally based Christian school welcoming students of all denominations. And their float it features a miniature city with mountains in the background, and their sign is Go Tell It, and they're singing Go Tell It on the Mountain. Okay, here comes another Grinch. I think that's number 9.
Number 9?
Number
Okay.
9.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, but this, the next 2 units, this one is Morristown Utilities. Morristown Parks and Recreation.
Yep.
I've been standing up here too long. And then the next one is also Morristown Utilities, but it is their Sweet Southern Dance. They're offering dance classes at the Tally Ward building for 6 weeks. You can take 6 weeks of classes. And these are the students that have been participating in that. And they've got another car with net lights.
Wow.
I like these net lights.
Yeah, the net lights are pretty cool.
I'll have to ask Lieutenant Hinkle if it's legal. Like if we put those net lights over our regular car and drove around all day.
I have a suspicion what his answer would be.
Yeah, I think maybe you're not allowed to do that, but it sure would be fun. Now this is always one of my favorites. I love
Princess Parties by Mary. Yeah.
Because there she has. Look at all those. I'm an old lady, but I like those Disney princesses.
Well, they're always going to be a hit with kids' birthday parties.
I'm not sure about Spider-Man.
Well, no, I'm sure that Spider-Man's a princess,
cool.
but
He's pretty cool. But I love the princesses. And next we have a crowd favorite, a parade tradition. And I'll just give her credit. Miss Jana knows how to get her application in on time with all her materials. And she's just one of the best to deal with parade participants that we have.
And
she's been doing it a long time.
And she's been doing it a long time, but she really gets, and all her students, as you can see, 2, 3 city blocks,
yep.
They really perform, and they perform well. And again, it's something that teaches discipline.
It does. She's got the float for the little bitty ones that aren't able to walk this whole way. And I might see Miss Carrington Ramsey in that group. Like I say, my eyes aren't too good, but Marshall told me she was going to be here. So.
Do you remember the dates that Jana was a UT cheerleader?
I do. I know I don't remember the dates, but it was. I think it was about in the late 70s, early 80s.
Wow.
I may be wrong.
And she's still doing what she's doing.
I know it.
Look at all these little ones.
I think she's younger than me. I think it was the 80s, but these are great. She has trained some great athletes in her experience.
Absolutely.
And look at all these little tiny girls. And they're walking the whole way, and they're not complaining about being cold. Of course, if they were doing all that jumping and flipping, they're probably a lot warmer than you and I are standing up here talking.
Oh, yeah. Number 10, Grinch.
Number 10, Grinch.
Yep.
We might catch up to last
We
year.
might do it.
At the end.
This is Rapid Dry Restoration. They are a premier restoration company in the area with state-of-the-art equipment and training.
And I will tell you, they are brand new chamber members. And we're happy to have them.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of new members over the 2023.
We have. And here comes the Road Junction Baptist Church.
Their theme is "'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." And of course, the reason for the season.
Absolutely. And their youth group created a sweet scene with this gingerbread house.
Wow.
Looks
They did a really good
doesn't
job.
it? They did a great job.
I wonder if it's really gingerbread cookies. You know, we've seen a lot of snowmen.
We have? We have.
We
haven't
really
seen
have.
any snow yet this year.
No
but
snow.
But this is the rookies baseball team.
And this snowman is a
It's a baseball.
baseball.
He's pretty cool. He's not just hitting a baseball, he is a baseball.
The rookies teams are right here from Morristown and a nonprofit organization that is affordable for all young athletes.
They've got a bunch of them on there, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
And here comes S&H Services, third generation millwright and logistics full service company, providing all your hauling and maintenance needs. David, Shannon, Sherry, and Scott would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and reminding you that Jesus is the sweetest name I know.
You know, I saw that in the notes, and I said, S&H green stamps? Then I thought, no.
You're old. Yeah, that's a beautiful. Look at their look. That's a
Wow,
beautiful
yeah.
float. I bet our judges had a hard time this year because we've got some really pretty ones.
I wouldn't want it to be the judge.
No. Here comes Sav Fit, a fitness studio located right here in downtown Morristown, and offer personal training, group training, Zumba, and dance.
And look, wow, that dude is really strong.
Yeah. And here comes Sellers Gas Appliance.
Oh,
Boy, that's
wow.
a pretty cool wrapped
Wow,
truck. Even,
yeah,
isn't
it is.
They're a family-owned business dedicated to providing their customers with quality hearth and outdoor living products and reliable service and professional installation. They got a look at Santa in the chimney. He better not go down there. I believe there's a fire in that fireplace. Smoky Mountain BMX. We all know how much fun BMX is, and those little guys and girls are great on their bike. Look at this.
Wow, he's really showing out.
He sure is.
A little rock and roll Christmas.
It sure is. That would be from The Gap Bar and Grill
Wow.
in Bulls Gap. They've got a live band.
Wow. Is that a first, Deborah, to have a live band on a
last
float?
year on the Ola Lakeway float, we had a live band.
Gotcha. Wow.
But they love to find ways to give back to the community through the angel trees and various fundraisers.
The Gap and
they have
Bulls Gap.
live music and karaoke every weekend. We'll
Wow.
have to go up there, Mike.
Yep. Here's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, located at 6301 Hiawatha Road here in Morristown.
Right. Their float is beautiful. There's a beautiful globe and all the gifts around the globe. That's a beautiful, I really, I'm glad I wasn't a judge. I agree with you.
No, I wouldn't have wanted that task.
Here comes the Theater Guild's entry, and 2024 will mark their 90th year in
90
Morristown.
years.
90 years.
90 years.
And bring,
And it's Kiss.
it's Kiss. Their Merry Christmas float. They've done a pretty good job of that, haven't they?
Where's Gene Simmons?
Wow, they look great.
There's Gene Simmons. Oh,
And
here's
here comes T&K Trucking. They have 3 units in the parade this year. I saw that unit earlier, and that's how I knew it could fit under the overhead sidewalks because it was going through town earlier.
I'd love to be down there just to see how close it is to the
Yeah.
bottom of the sidewalk that we're standing on.
I know, I'm a little nervous here.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I want to see on the other side that it does come out.
That one was a little
Wow.
nervous. I was a little nervous on that one. And this is their the last of their
This is the rest of it, and it's a Whoville float.
the Whoville.
I mean, I'm telling you, I want to say if this isn't the most creative floats that the Morristown Christmas Parade has ever had, it's ranking in the top 3.
Yeah, it's right there.
Wow. Whoville.
He's done a great job. I believe we have TriStar Physical Therapy coming up. They have another snowman.
And they have 7 East Tennessee locations.
Wow. There's another dog. I love the floats with dogs on them. And this is MDS Logistics. Well, that's a tall truck too, isn't it?
I don't think it's as tall as the tree truck, but it is tall.
Yeah, it's the shape that's kind of.
Wow. In the Christmas form, we do give them a clearance, right?
We do. We tell them. Yeah. 13 feet 5 inches. You can't be any higher than that. This is Twilight Skating Rink. They always have a pretty float. I like that tree, Mike. That's a really neat.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, wow, and they're skating. I mean, it is Twilight Skating Rink, but they're skating.
They all are skating. That's pretty cool, too. Pretty neat. Look at those little cars. That kind of looks like the little cars Morristown Utilities has in their display. This is Urban Radiance Medical.
Have you ever seen the M-Scope Neo?
No.
I mean, it vibrates. I don't want to be crass, but it vibrates the fat off of you.
Wow, that's what we all need, isn't it? Especially
They do a really great job at Urban Radiance.
Yeah, they've got another Polar Express. That's a beautiful little float. And this is UT Hospice.
Wow, another beautiful float.
And they have another Whoville float as well.
And another Grinch up. We're up, what is that, 11? 12? 11?
11.
Okay.
Up to 11. Their Grinch is a dancing Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
And oh, look here, we've got like 3 or 4 Grinches on best.
Oh, wow, we're catching up really quick.
I know. This is Best Rates Towing. Look at that pretty landscape on their Grinch.
Thomas and Vanessa Coulter are representing their new and family-owned towing service.
And here is Terabella Assisted Living. They always put their Terabella. And the next one is Regency. It's nice for them to bring their residents out to be in the parade. And here comes 423 Aztec Bail Bonds. Martin.
Yep, Martin Galvin.
Yeah, he was in the office the other day.
Was he?
Yep, nice
Martin's
fella.
a nice young man.
And he's... Now, let's see. Last year, I think he had the Grinch in jail. Let's see who he has in jail this year. It is the Grinch again.
Oh, so we're up to, let's see, we had several, so we're up to 15, I believe. Well, Coca-Cola speaks for itself.
I know, one of my favorites.
I think they started marketing and advertising Coca-Cola in 1880s.
Well, I was not around then, but I am enjoying it now. And now coming down the street are the folks from Ferris.
Well, so Ferris G. Brown, Scott, the general manager there, was talking about what he was going to do with a truck, and I said, okay.
Yeah.
And he's done a good job.
It's beautiful, and he's got a Grinch with him.
So I think we're up to 16 Grinches.
One more, and we'll tie last year.
Absolutely, we will.
And we've got about 10 or 12 more units to go. And here comes Gentiva Hospice. They have a beautiful little float with their some of their staff on it. Their place is by your side. And they serve Hamblin and all surrounding counties. And now we have GFL Environmental.
You know, it's interesting, the glow-in-the-dark coats that they have on blend in with the paint of the truck.
Wow.
I don't know. That's just something, call me weird.
But it's a Grinch color, but I don't see a Grinch.
No Grinch. You know, we've talked about, there's a little bit of a break,
Yeah.
we've talked about how many businesses have been around this long, and it's been 19 this or 35 years of that. I just think that helps the growth of Morristown. When you have businesses that's been around for a long time, and then new businesses just keep opening up every week, it seems like.
I know. It's amazing. Our town is growing.
Now, a former employee of mine, they're coming into view here, called me right before the parade started, and this is coming into view is incredible tiny homes. And they started in 2015. They started with tiny homes. Have you ever been in a tiny home?
I have not. I have seen and heard about, but I have never actually been in one.
It's just, it's wild what they do with the space, the tiny space that they have. So they've got
a tiny home.
A tiny home.
Coming down the street. Yeah, they did call us and ask. They said they'd checked the height, and they knew they were right on the height, but what about the width? So we gave them the width, so they should be good.
It's still tiny.
It's still tiny.
A lot of the tiny homes have lofts,
Yeah.
and have sofas that fold out, and it's kind of cool.
They sell homes starting at $20,000, so I was wondering about, but that's really amazing. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That is incredible.
It is.
It is incredible.
Yeah. It's even got a porch on it.
Isn't that great? And here comes the Morristown West FFA. And it's being pulled by Livesey Cargo Care Trucking. And the next unit is Livesey Auto Sales. So these two, the
You know, the train just adds to the festival.
it does, it does. We have to say that. Here comes Morristown Bail Bonds. And now we have Mike Buchanan. Mike is a retired City of Morristown firefighter, and he owns this 1974 truck. And riding on that are members of the employees and their families from Heirloom Treasures Estate Sales. And that is a pretty cool truck. I think what's coming next is an advertisement for everybody to come out on Saturday morning.
This Saturday morning, yeah.
For the Jingle Run.
Absolutely.
Always a great event.
Morristown Hamlin Healthcare System and Covenant, the Jingle Bell Run.
And coming up behind their banner for the Jingle Run is the Morristown Hamlin Healthcare System, a member of Covenant Health. Of course, they're a 167-bed hospital serving residents of East Tennessee and the surrounding counties, comprehensive medical care, and we are so proud to have them in our community. Next, we have Morristown Tree Service, and they're in a chipper truck.
And their chipper truck has been on chipper, but they've been around for 28 years.
Yes, and we know that Matt Stewart and in fact, did you know that they were the proud sponsor of this year's WCRK Great Pumpkin Hunt?
They absolutely were. They gave away $2,000 because it had always been $11.50.
Yeah.
But they gave away $2,000.
Good for them. And here comes our third place float. This is Operation Lifesaver. They were in the parade last year, and I was so amazed. There's an organization, and their goal is to promote railroad safety.
Wow, there goes the train.
Yep.
And here comes the
the
train.
train.
Wow.
And
look at the lights.
Beautiful. It's to educate people on being, don't try to beat the train when you get to the railroad crossing. That's really what they're saying. Here comes a beautiful Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice float. Now, I wonder, do you think Debbie Ahern got off of the county float and then ran back and got on this one?
Well, she could.
She could.
She could.
And here comes Auto Rescue Towing, and they are sure towing a cute little well-lit trailer, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Just gorgeous, just beautiful. And Mike, I believe I hear music.
I believe it's the Marching Hurricane Band.
What
right?
do you think that means? If there's
Well, that
another
means that Santa's close.
band? He sure is. because after the East High Band,
You know, Santa has been riding on the first fire truck for a couple of years now, right?
several years, yes.
Okay. And that's an awesome story within itself.
Yeah. But we are excited about the Brandon Tilley and his band that does such a great job. You know, Mr. Tilley also conducts the Walter State Community Band, and they had a concert Sunday that was absolutely beautiful. I went, and it was so wonderful.
Deborah, something more that I've been impressed with tonight, the floats, yes, but all three bands have performed magnificently.
We are very, very blessed to have these three bands, and they are talented young musicians, and we're just so blessed to have them in our community.
You know, a shout out to Pete Burrell. He's done a great job in stopping the performances to get them to perform.
He has.
Well, here we are.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane.
That's right.
And here you go, the first fire truck. And there's Santa.
There's Santa.
Hi, Santa.
And that just about wraps it up this year,
Wow,
Mike.
I'm telling
I think
you.
we have some more units coming, but I think they're to
I think they're the cleanup crew.
They're to clear the streets and make sure everything is safe. And again, we just thank everybody involved, and we're so glad to be here. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah, thank you for
are we
tuning.
supposed to be going this way?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. It's Christmas in the city, the Morristown City Christmas Parade. All the people, all the volunteers that we've thanked before, they just couldn't be made possible without everybody.
And I'll just say the Chamber of Commerce is very pleased to be able to put on the parade. It just gets bigger every year.
Well, we're happy that Chamber does it, puts it together, and takes care of everything that takes care of. And we just want to thank Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Deborah.
Merry Christmas to you and Glenda.